Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this live stream. In this chat, I'd like to talk about the scam that's being visited on every country, as far as I can tell, in the Western world. And it's a playbook that goes like this. And it's a globalist playbook, and our governments that have been completely taken over by the globalists are just acting now as globalist enforcers. The scam goes like this. We're going to bring black and brown people into your 98%, 99% white country. Well, we're going to do it without your consent. We're going to do it without even talking to you. We're just going to bulldoze it through, and then we'll lie to you and say that we're not doing it. But once these black and brown people are here, if you object, or if you complain, or if you think that you should be consulted, or you question it, then we've got a prepared barrage of condemnations and put downs. We're going to call you a Nazi, a fascist, a racist, a bigot, a phobe, a homophobe, this, or a so-and-so phobe, that. We're going to have a whole range of put downs. We'll attack you through social media. You'll be attacked from all sides. We'll also have a full-on propaganda campaign running in the mainstream media, saying how wonderful all these black and brown people are, and how anyone that disagrees, again, is a racist, fascist, Nazi, and so on. So that's what we're going to do. So that the majority, the 98 or 99%, has to accommodate the people coming in. They don't have to accommodate you or to fit in with you. You have to fit in with them. And if you don't, you're a damn Nazi. Okay, so now let's go down to the micro scale. There's a recent incident that I came across where a brown transgender person came to a particular sports club and wanted to join. The day after this person turned up, there was a call from an anti-discrimination, government-funded anti-discrimination thing, threatening the convener of the sports club, saying that if he or anyone else objected, or there was any problems at all or anything like that, he'd be slapped with a lawsuit for racism and for transgender phobia. I don't know, that's the term for transgender, I assume it's transgender phobia. And they'd be all over him. The sports club will be shut down. He'd be finished. He wouldn't be able to open up another sports club. His name would be mud, and so on. Now, as I understand it, the transgender arriving was a passed without event. It was a bit strange, particularly given their behaviour. They wanted to be the centre of attention, and they wanted everyone to tap dance around them, and they were hair trigger ready to take offence at anything. But still, it passed. But people basically are good. There are very few people that will hate or dislike someone purely because of their their race, or whether they're transgender or not. I'm sure you could find some, but it's quite rare. Most people are quite accommodating and understanding, and provided the person doesn't make life difficult for them, then they don't really care, I guess. So that was sort of how the first night of the sports thing. Now let's just look at this for a minute. This brown transgender person actually lives way across the other side of town. This is a fairly big city, so they live across the other side of the city. They have to pass a number of university or college-based sports clubs to get to this one. Now, all these sports clubs have very, very sort of pronounced policies on transgenderism. There's a transgender bathroom, there's this, there's that, and it's very multicultural and so on. But instead, they come all the way across town to come to a sports club that's only straight white males and has no transgender bathroom. That just seems a bit odd, doesn't it? I mean, now, clearly they could have gone to any other club, or many other clubs, sports clubs for this particular sport, gone to many other clubs and being fully accommodated for being transgender, but somehow a straight white male only sports club was discovered, and they decided to put a transgender person in there and then demand that everyone in that club tap dance and tiptoe and tread on eggshells around this transgender person. So of course it completely changes the club, the camaraderie, the whole thing. And this person is demanding special attention and again, ever ready to take offence. Now, you can't tell me that wasn't contrived. You can't tell me it wasn't planned and orchestrated. It was. Now, whether that person did it on their own, which I doubt very much. So we've got a situation where there's a government department, or departments plural, have said, hey, we found an all straight white male sports club. Let's get them. Let's target them. Let's fuck them up. Let's make life difficult for them. How will we do it? Well, let's put a black lesbian in. Can we find a black lesbian somewhere? No, okay. I know. Let's get that brown transgender individual there. We'll send them. Fine. Yep, that'll be good. Wow. This will really get up, and then maybe someone will say something racist, and we can close the club down. And if they don't, or if there's nothing happen, then everyone's had to submit to our ideology. So we've still won. Either way, we win here, and we can force them all to do it. They don't. They have to adapt to us. The transgender person does not have to adapt to them. Wow, got it. Now that's just a micro level of what's happening internationally by forcing black and brown people into the West. It's the same playbook, just at a micro level. Now, there's a second one I came across as well, where very, very similar, really, where there's a brown blind lesbian. So she's inserted into again a sports club here, and the entire club has to adjust around her. So she gets very special government. There's a government sort of limousine minibus to pick her up. There has to be 2 people there. She's got to have a dedicated coach and all this sort of thing to watch her. But everyone has to sort of work around. There's compulsory requirements that all the people in the sports club have to run around in blindfolds, so they know what it's like to be blind. I mean, are they going to have to all commit lesbian acts? They know what it's like to be a lesbian. I mean, it's madness, absolute madness. But this is the sort of thing that went on. Now, this is somewhat different insofar as this club had recently been given a government building to operate in, and which had saved them quite a bit of money on having to pay rent privately on a building, on a hall. So they got this hall for free, and first off it was fine, but then the government started coming along and saying, well, you have to have blind lesbians here, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do so and so, you have to have 2 transgender bathrooms instead of 1, and just on and on. So these constant demands that to turn it from what was hitherto an all-male, all-white sports club into being some multicultural, transgender, lesbian free-for-all, and of course all the competent sports people left, and so the quality's gone down. Some of these people could barely walk around the block without falling over. So the standard of sports excellence is just gone completely. But they've got what they wanted. They've destroyed sort of a straight white male venue and place. They've got all the straight white males are treading on eggshells, running around black lesbians and brown lesbians and blind lesbians and this sort of thing. So it's insane. But this is how they do it, and this is the playbook, and we can see it all across the Western world, and say if they want to infiltrate any institution, they only have to send 1 minority person in there, and that's enough, just 1, to destabilize the entire organization or institution. Because if that person says, well, I feel like I'm being I feel that I'm receiving racist treatment or this or that, they've only got to allege it. They don't have to really prove anything. The burden of proof is very low, but it means that everyone else has to change, and that's enough. And we've got to stop this, because that's the playbook they're using, and they're using it to fuck everything up. You've been with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.